Hey guys, this is OneRedMike with Pacers Gaming, and today I'm here with Big Reign, and we're going to be looking at the best possible settings you can have in NBA 2K24. Take it with you, Big Reign.
Depending on if you like vibration or not, I absolutely hate it, so I turn it off. And the trigger effects, that's a thing with PS5 controllers. If you're on Xbox, you don't got to worry about it, but it makes like your triggers feel kind of stiff. And I absolutely hate it. Getting into some important gameplay stuff, shot timing, I do shots and layups. Last year, you didn't time layups. I think it's been like this for the last few years, but I feel like it's actually kind of rewarding because you can green some contested and heavy layups pretty often on this game if you have like the Pro Touch badge up pretty high. So I always do shots and layups. Free throw timing, obviously, if user timing, I think you can do like real player percentage and stuff, but it doesn't work online, so there's no point even switching that. Shot timing visual cue, I use release because I feel like it's the easiest one to like really see the cue on. Obviously, like as it's coming off your hand is when you release, and that's how I've always looked at it in prior 2Ks because this wasn't really a thing. I even used late last year. I know a lot of like the competitive pro am people also use release, and then turning your meter off will give you a boost to your green window, which I feel like is definitely needed this year with how hard it is to shoot. Layup meter as a center, you know, it's kind of tough to turn it off because you get so much like random animations in the paint, you don't really know what you're gonna get. But I'd say like as a guard and stuff, you could kind of learn your layup package and turn it off, and you'd be able to get a boost with your layup meter as well. Free throw meter I have off. That also gives you a boost for free throws. I have the shot meter style on funnel, by the head, and large, and for that reason is because when you do the stick dunks, you can see the meter. Like it's just huge on your screen and it's easy to time it because of how big the meter is.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the best one as far as being able to see that green window clearly.
Perfect release on, that's really preference. All this stuff, preference is like your green window and the sound effects and all that stuff. Obviously want to keep your turbo and fatigue meter on so you know if you're tired or not. This really doesn't affect me as a center, but I know as like a guard, it can. This is where like you can turn your dribble stick to only dribble moves or shots or something like that in case maybe you're dribbling around and you accidentally shoot the ball, which I've seen happen to people plenty of times. If you don't want that, the only downside to this is I don't believe you can stick dunk and stuff if you only have it on dribble moves, so that's why I just leave it on default.
Yeah, that's true.
This is good right here. This is not really talked about a lot, but I don't know if you guys have ever heard the term dexing, which is like moving in one direction off ball and then moving back to the other one quickly. If you throw the pass to them while they're doing that, this kind of leads the pass to them. And so you want to 100% make sure this is on because that'll help people off ball that you're passing to get open off of, you know, movement and stuff like that. So make sure you have this on. Skip pass is when you hold the X or A button and it'll skip the person in between kind of if you don't feel like icon passing. This is a quick way of like, you know, getting the skip pass down the court. And this is also why what I was telling you guys with the R1L1, how that was taken out of the game. You have to have this on to be able to throw that, hold the X or A pass off the rebound to throw the break starter pass. This has to be on for that. Pro stick defense, absolute. So you're not having to like flick your stick depending on where you are on the court. It's all the same and easier to remember. Who to guard is off for me as a center, but if you're like a lock or a point guard or a shooting guard, you know, defending ball handlers, you want to have this on.
Yeah, I think that's important. So sometimes when you have that on, I don't know if you've experienced it, but it'll sort of pull you like gravity to certain players. I don't know if it has to do with defensive assist or what, but yeah, I've noticed it too when I play center sometimes.
Yeah, and that's also why I have defensive assist strength kind of lower than most people do, because if I'm guarding someone, I'm normally in the corner, I'm in the backside of the PNR. Having the lower assist strength makes it to where you can, you know, run up to the point guard and kind of shade for a second so your lock or whoever's guarding ball can get back. Then you can make it back to the slip in time because you're not, you know, getting pulled towards anybody or anything like that. So that's why I have who to guard off and the assist strength pretty low. Box out assist strength, you want as much assist with that as possible. There's no hurt in doing that because holding L2, it'll just help you get kind of sucked to the guy you're trying to box out. So there's no hurt in putting that maxed out. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but you can kind of fight off worms from people. If you hold the box out button and you feel like they're gonna worm left, if you hold left on your analog stick, you can deny them that worm. I'd keep that in mind whenever you're playing center and trying to box people out. And then for the passing settings, I just use the default, but not a bad idea if you're trying to learn the game and learn how people play and rotations and stuff to use openness. I don't know if it even works online this year for sure.
Yeah, I think it's still in the game, but they toned it down quite a bit. But yeah, I think it's definitely still helpful to bring it up a bit. And, just like you said, it'll help you learn some of the defensive rotations and kind of what to expect from other players' behavior on the court.
There's one more setting I wanted to look at. This one is really preference, but I feel like me personally, when I play with it on, I hate it because when you're moving around and stuff, and it just like blurs your game. So I always put it down to 0.
There you go. And then one more setting I'd like to mention is right here on the general settings is crossplay. As far as most people have experienced, if you turn it off, shooting is a little bit more consistent as far as what the delay feels like, but it's also a general just personal preference. Now make sure you guys check out our video on how to turn off crossplay if you haven't already, because on PlayStation you just come here and turn it off, but on Xbox it's pretty complicated. So you guys make sure you check out that video. And those are the best settings for NBA 2K24. This was OneRedMike with Big Reign. We'll see you in the next one.